Got Chef Marty coming in, and what? What? Jason, what is this?
It's the Poncha train.
Right, of course it is.
Dance like the moves that you're doing on purpose. Sing like a singing on key. Talk to the girl that intimidates you. Pretend that you're brilliant and charming. I said pretend that you're brilliant and charming. Hey!
Everybody, welcome in. Later with Jason Suel. So glad that you are tuned in. King of the world, Bo Counts.
It's
here.
me. It's me looking over my dominion, this planet Earth.
King of the tiny world.
Yeah, it's just this little guy.
Look at this guy over here, Jesse Wells. Your haircut looks amazing, I just have to say.
Yeah, who's your stylist?
Only the best.
Only the best. Me! Yeah, I got to cut Jesse's hair. Yes.
And you allowed this?
I was there.
Yeah, he just sat there in the chair and allowed it to happen. And look how great he looks today.
I mean, it's a fantastic fit.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
Any thoughts, Jesse, about your hairstylist that day?
I have no regrets.
Yes, that's what I like. No regrets. It's the season of no regrets, I feel like. We're kind of like getting into the end of spring. We're about to launch into summer. About to kick it up a notch. The weather's nice outside.
The weather's nice. The planet Earth is spinning. People are traveling.
People are out and about, though. You know, it's always fascinating to me coming out of kind of that dormant period where we all sit around, hibernate, watch Netflix all day long.
We're in our chrysalis of blankets and streaming media.
Yes, and now everyone's out. There's farmers markets. There's
the Northwest Arkansas Dog and Baby Show.
You know it. It's happening. But we're thankful that you are tuned in tonight with us because we have a great show lined up for you. Check out what we're going to do. We're going to talk with Kurt from Walton Arts Center, and he's going to talk to us all about the upcoming season of Broadway shows.
Some cool stuff, I hear.
Cool stuff is happening, and he's going to kind of walk us through all of those shows. You're going to want to get your tickets and your season subscriptions after you talk to Kurt today. And then we've got the band, The Salesmen. I cannot wait to hear this rock band on the show tonight. Filmed right here at Fayetteville Public Television, part of their Fayette Tunes series. And then down there at our chef's table, we've got the queen of New Orleans cooking, Maudie Schmidt, joining us. Chef Maudie, what are we going to be making down there at the chef's table today?
We're going to do some crawfish pontchartrain. You can get it at the restaurant. A lot of people get shrimp, but we're in crawfish season, so why wouldn't we do crawfish?
Yes.
All right. I can already smell it.
I can too.
She's over there like sauteing something.
I know.
Aromatics.
Do you eat crawfish? Do you like crawfish?
I worship the crawfish.
What
it is my spirit animal. Are you supposed to eat your spirit animal?
I think so.
Okay, well.
If you eat your spirit animal, it becomes part of you.
It becomes a part of you.
And
you
then
gain its tiny little claw, bottom-feeding strength.
Yes, I can't wait to watch Bo metamorphosize into a crawfish later in the show. That's coming up. Stick around. We got all the fun happening later. Welcome back, everybody. Kurt from Walton Arts Center joining me down here in the hot seat. Thanks for taking the time to visit with us, Kurt.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. I'm excited about this upcoming 23-24 Broadway season at Walton Arts Center. It looks great.
We are too. We've got 6 great shows, 3 add-ons. Our friends at Procter & Gamble are wonderfully sponsoring us again this year.
Yes.
So I think we've got a really fantastic, varied season.
Yeah.
We've got 6,
right,
which
is winning all the awards.
It's winning all the awards. It's selling out still in New York, all over the country.
I actually saw that this year on Broadway. It's a great show.
Yes, right. Remind us what it's about, Kurt.
So it's sort of a poppy version of Henry VIII's 6 wives. Some were beheaded, some died, one survived.
Yeah.
But it's 90 minutes straight through, no intermission, just a fun. It starts off like a rocket, and it's just a great great fun.
And you're along for the ride. I love it.
Exactly.
What else is on the season?
Following that in December is Tina, the Tina Turner story, which,
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you need to say about Tina Turner?
Yeah.
In January, we have Jagged Little Pill.
Oh, Alanis Morissette.
Based on Alanis Morissette's album. It's fascinating. The album is 20 years old, and yet,
Oh my!
it's still,
Can you not say that? Because I feel now I feel old. I don't know. I remember listening to that album for the first time, you know, in high school.
Right. But the show just shows how really contemporary it is and how, how it's endured.
Sure.
And then following that in February, we have Company.
Yes, Company. Which I'm familiar with, right? But I know maybe people haven't heard about that one in a while, right? Remind us about
Well,
Company.
it actually is a 50-year-old show. It opened about 50 years ago in New York. The lead character has always been played by a man, a 35-year-old man. He's turning 35, and all of his friends are wondering why he hasn't settled down and found a wife, found a girlfriend, whatever.
Right.
So the director of this production wanted to do something a little different because, 50 years ago, a 35-year-old man who hadn't settled down was one thing, but now 35-year-old man,
different.
it hits different. So they kind of twisted up a little bit, and Bobby, the lead character, is now played by a female. Because when you flip the genders like that, it kind of hits differently with a woman than it does with a man. So I've seen the show a number of times, and it feels like a completely different new show.
experience.
So
cool.
It's kind of got more of a Sex and the City feel.
Yeah.
It's hysterically funny, and yet. There's a couple of songs where you'll be laughing one minute and then thinking the next. So.
That's how I feel hanging out with Bo Counts all the time, right? Laughing 1 minute.
And then crying the next. Yeah.
Exactly. Reconsidering my life choices. So you got Company happening, and then what's following?
And then in March we have Aladdin.
Oh, that's a big
Disney's
one
Aladdin,
for
which
families.
is big.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest shows we've ever had at Walton Arts Center. We're super excited. We haven't had a Disney show in quite a few years, so we're super excited. And The Carpet Flies. So it's got all the great tunes from the movie, along with 9 or 10 others. And
so they added in more songs to this musical than what you're familiar with.
Correct. There were some songs that were cut from the original animated movie that are put back in the show, as well as new music that was written specifically for the musical. So, and then following that in May, we have To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, now that's so interesting. That's not a musical, though, even though it's a Broadway show.
Correct. It's a Broadway show. It's a play. It's a rare play that tours. Most plays don't tour, but based on the reaction and the sales in New York and just the times, the producers thought this really needs to be seen. This really needs to go around the country and let people see it. Aaron Sorkin, who wrote The West Wing, The Social Network, wrote the script. Bart Scher, who is one of the leading American directors, directed it. It's pretty stunning.
Pretty
to
powerful,
watch. It's
probably
incredibly
too, right?
powerful.
I mean, still based on the book, I'm assuming.
Yes, it is based on the book, and what Aaron Sorkin has done pretty ingeniously is sort of in the book and especially in the film, Atticus is sort of like a perfect man, a sort of a Christ-like figure.
Sure.
But Aaron Sorkin has given him, very human flaws. Because ultimately he is a human.
Yeah.
And all humans have flaws.
Sure.
So, it's still the book. That, nothing has been changed that much.
Right.
But it's just humanized Atticus a little bit.
And you mentioned 3 add-ons as well. What are those 3 shows?
We have the Cher Show, which is based on the life of
Cher.
And
There's another diva to add to the list, right? Okay.
Correct. And we're actually teching and launching that show. It's having its national tour premiere at Walton Arts Center.
Wow.
So
Exciting.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
We've got all the Bob Mackie gowns.
Yeah.
So come for Cher and stay for the Bob Mackie gowns.
Yeah, no doubt.
So we're super excited about that. In January, Les Mis is returning.
Oh, I love it. I love that. And it came here maybe a couple seasons ago, right?
It was here in, I believe, 2019.
Okay.
And sold so well. And it's one of, every time we ask subscribers, what shows do you want to see? What shows do you want to see again? Les Mis is always at the top of the list. So we were happy to be able to bring it. It's probably his last trip here for quite a while.
Okay.
And then in May, closing out our season, we have Hairspray.
Okay. Oh.
Which... is
Love it.
such a fun show, and I've seen this production, and it's just it's the Hairspray you all know and love, and
Yes,
it's just fantastic.
It's a lot of fun, a lot of singing, a lot of laughter.
Absolutely.
Causing a little bit of thinking there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. Bo, we've described all the shows on the Procter & Gamble Broadway 23-24 season. What do you think? Are you excited about 1, 2 of those? What do you think?
There's so many, but I mean, Aladdin is a standout. Like that was one that when last trip I took to New York, I ended up seeing 6. Aladdin was there, but it was just sold out. And seeing those lines and seeing all those people, I walked past the crowds coming out and talking about how crazy and awesome it was. I'm excited that's happening.
Yes, I can't wait. I know families across the region are going to be excited about this. I would imagine people are going to drive in from wherever to see this one as well, because it's cool to have it here on the tour.
Yep.
Subscriptions are open right now, and that's the best way to get tickets at this point.
Correct.
Right,
You
Kurt?
can renew right now. You can buy a new subscription right now. WaltonArtCenter.org. And or call our box office. They'll be happy to help you.
Yeah.
And you can also add on any of the 3 bonus shows. If you pick Les Mis, you can keep your same seat that you're
Oh,
subscribed.
cool.
You know, which is one of the great things about subscribing is you get the same seats for all 6 shows or all 7 shows. If you get Les Mis, you get exchange privileges. You get discounts on the tickets. You get priority access to other Walton Art Center shows. Which, as we've seen this week, we put a couple shows on sale and they sold out like that. So
Yeah. Thanks for helping us preview and walk us through the upcoming season. We appreciate your time.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Stick around. We got more fun happening later.
Celebrating 10 seasons all year long on Later with Jason Suel. Our musical guests brought to you by Walton Arts Center. Walton Arts Center, a home for Broadway right here in your own backyard.
Yes, everybody, welcome back. Later with Jason Suel. Down here at the chef's table, the queen, Chef Maudie, joining us. Cafe Rue Orleans. Thank you for
She's
joining us.
just focused. She's zenned out.
I know she is focused on that pontchartrain.
Whipped cream, baby.
All right.
You got to be focused on the whipped cream.
Yeah, you don't want to scald it. You don't want to burn it.
No, we're just trying to reduce it a little bit, get those big bubbles to start going.
So pontchartrain, tell us, like, where does the name come from? What is it? Why is it called that? What kind of train is that?
It's a poncho.
It's a
Poncha?
Train.
Yeah.
Is it like a poncho shipment that they fresh in, get your ponchos?
Right outside of New Orleans is Lake Pontchartrain, and
Okay.
it's a really big lake. It's brackish, a little bit of fresh water,
Okay.
a little bit of salt water, and so we use that. Oysters come out of Lake Pontchartrain,
Yeah.
shrimp, crab, and so
Critters, just all of
speckled
it.
Critters.
trout, right?
And it's crawfish season. You said, how long does crawfish season last?
Well, it'll last till about maybe Father's Day weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
We're lucky if we get Father's Day weekend.
Okay. So it is limited.
It is very limited.
Yeah.
And when it's crawfish season, you eat crawfish. That's just
That's
the
just
best.
what you do.
And this dish comes from the fact that people have a crawfish boil and then they have leftover crawfish.
Okay.
So what do you do with it?
Yeah.
You peel it, you put it in dishes like this, you make pasta, you make crawfish etouffee.
Yes.
That's one of my favorites.
Crawfish bisque, things like that. And so that's where we
That's where the dish came from.
So other
that's
than
where we
cream,
come
what do
up.
we got going on in there?
So we got a little bit of what we're making really is an Alfredo, and I just jazz it up. So we have cream, we have some spices,
Sure.
we have a little bit of Italian cheese, Parmesan cheese. We started off with onions and tasso. Tasso is a really heavily smoked pork butt.
Okay.
And we do that at the restaurant, and it adds that back kind of smokiness that you'll get.
Yeah.
And so
That's
ready.
that's all
just
we
put
really
it in a
do.
pan
Plate this thing.
and wizard it up.
Yeah.
So are there any boils you got going on? I know you used to host some big boils, and there's always some sort of boils going on here in Fayetteville.
Well, we all season long we'll do crawfish boils. We'll come to your house and do a crawfish boil.
Wow.
And then every now and then
how do you summon the great Chef Maudie to come to your house? Like, is there a signal that you light up in the sky?
The Maudie
call me,
signal.
baby.
Okay, just pick up the phone.
That's all you gotta
easy.
do.
That
Just
is
call me.
delicious.
Give me this.
And
And,
you gotta get
did
in
you
there.
see how quick it was?
It's boom.
This
It's
is
easy.
boom.
I love
Yeah.
that because you're right. We often do when we go to a crawfish bowl,
God.
we'll have some left over, right? And then it's like, what do
Sure.
you do with these? Do we just eat them? But they're not quite the same the next day afterwards. So putting them in a dish is
Putting
smart.
them in a dish while you're sitting around and you're finishing off that beer, peel.
Yeah.
And then put them in a Ziploc and
keep working.
Use it later.
Keep working.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's how we came up with the crawfish corn bisque. In the crawfish boil, you have corn, potato, sausage. We would have leftover. You dice it up. You add a little
It
whipped cream and
makes
butter.
so much more sense
know,
now.
right?
I'm
Yeah.
like,
and then
oh,
those crawfish tails.
yeah.
That's what we.
You already
came
had
up
the
with.
ingredients. That's so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put it all together.
I never even thought
Delicious.
about it.
Yes, and you can get this all. Remember, like Chef said, it's a limited time there at Cafe
Right.
Rue, so come get it. But they got amazing stuff on the menu all year long.
All year,
All year
One of the
long.
best brunches in Northwest
Boiled.
Arkansas.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boiled crawfish just on Friday nights.
Okay, that's it. Yes, we're gonna get a chance to try this in just a moment together again.
Another
I
chance.
think. Yes,
I'm
stick
taking it right
around.
now.
Stick around. This might be gone after we come back
It's
later.
gonna be.
Yes, that's our show, everybody. Remember, you can find us out there on your social media platforms or send us an email over at laterwithjasonsuel.com. But before we leave, we got to thank all of our amazing guests, including Kurt, dropping by from Walton Arts Center. Thanks, Kurt.
And of course, Chef Maudie from Cafe Rue for bringing us all of
Oh, yeah,
this.
got to get in on this in just a moment. We also want to thank Fayetteville Public Television, the Fayette Tunes segment there, the band Salesman. It was amazing. That's our show. We'll see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
Let's eat this.